Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Headcannon O'Clock Time. And say hello to some more OCs from the man, the myth, the legend, the master of making OCs for me to headcanon. Rob, the Canadian National Northern. Yep, say hello to some more of Rob's OCs. Say hello to his OCs, Donson, the Great Waterton Engine, and Heitor, the Brazilian Engine. Let's start with Donson. So here's his origin story. So Donson worked on the Great Eastern Railway alongside his brother Tom, and he was very happy. And then a few months later, he was loaned to Great Waterton to help out, and Flora was there somehow. How did Flora get there early in your AU? Back to what I was saying. Okay. And then Great Waterton was eventually... He and Flora were great friends, but eventually Great Waterton was abandoned and they had to leave. Donson was sent back to the other railway, and he was due to be scrapped, but he was bought by the Vickerstown Railway Museum. And I believe it stated he works as a shunter. And then he heard that Henry rediscovered Great Waterton and was very happy about it. And occasionally writes letters to Flora. Yes, Henry's the main character of the Great Discovery in his AU. I don't know why. Answer a lot of my damn questions. Answer a lot of my damn questions, Rob. How did Flora end up on Great Waterton early, and why is Henry the main character of the Great Discovery in your AU? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get more questions asking you later. Okay, that's his origin story, and here's my take on him. His story plays out the same, except that when Great Waterton was rediscovered, he was bought up by the town of Great Waterton again, and works there, alongside many other engines. You know, like Stanley, Flora, Randall, who's created by Gregory the Heavy Goods Engine, Alfred, Boris, Wilson, and Steve, who are all created by the one and only Mr. Bluebell Engine. Just letting you all know. He gets along with the engines there. He is happy to do any work he is given with no fuss. And I like to think that he would often have a little competition with other engines with side plates. And I like to think that he occasionally helps Flora with the tram runs around Great Waterton. And would occasionally tell visitors what Great Waterton used to look like before or it was rediscovered. Also, Rob, did you just grab a Great Eastern design and slap some cow catchers and side plates on it? Just asking. I don't think it's possible to assume that he received these when he's back on his old railway, or he was instructed to have them when he first arrived on Great Waterton. I think this is kind of a good thing because, well, we want him to stand out. Back to what I was saying, okay. Whenever there's a Great Waterton engine struggling, he is always there to help them out. And often tells the other engines what his life is like now on Great Waterton. And is incredibly grateful for the new home he has. And now then, on to Heitor, the Brazilian engine. So here's his origin story. Heitor worked in Brazil for all of his life until the diesels came along, but instead of being scrapped, he was bought by a man named Alfred Stokes. Packet W4 production, if you're checking this out, yes! Another North Cumbrian and Washington and railway engine, and created by Rob the Canadian National Northern. He was safe from being scrapped, and now he helps out Colton and Speedy with the passenger runs, which I've covered both of them already. So that's his origin story. I might just want to get to do my take on him. Okay, about earlier. Boris is not really created by Mr. Bluebell Engine. Rather, he's from Tojo Luna. The others are from Mr. Bluebell Engine. Okay, as I was saying, here's my take. So, after he was withdrawn, he was sold to an industrial railway to work as a mine engine, but he was not the best at doing so. Given that he was originally built as a passenger engine, he didn't really have that much experience with trucks. And then when the industrial railway closed, he was then and left to rust away in a nearby site. Hoping that he could be rescued. And often feeling very sad and thinking of any story he could talk about. But little did he know, it was that Alfred Stokes just so happened to be wandering by the scrapyard he was in, and overheard what he was saying, and thus he made a plan. Later that night, while old Heitor was sleeping, he didn't hear the sound of him being coupled up and being dragged. The next morning when he woke up, he could just hear Jimmy and Timmy talking all about him, who I've covered already. Huh? Where am I? Jimmy and Timmy smiled. You're on the North Cumbrian and Washington Railway, they said. Wait. This is the place? Mm-hmm, replied Colton, puffing up to him. Followed by Speedy and Johnson. Johnson I've covered already as well. This is our home, and yours as well. Wait, my home? Yeah, he answered. Quite so, replied Alfred Stokes. I overheard you talking about what your life was like in that siding, and I was just so happened to be walking by, and I couldn't say no to an engine rusting away. So I thought, why not buy you? And given your livery, you'll most likely stand out from some of my engines. Heitor was so overthrilled. Now he is as happy as can be working on the North Cumbrian and Washington Railway. He helps Speedy and Colton with the passenger trains, and often brings other passengers to the big station at the end of the line to be taken away to Sodor. He is incredibly grateful for the new home he has, and could call the North Cumbrian and Washington Railway his home. There you go. And that's my headcanon. And for Donson and Heitor, let me know what you think down below. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.